Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of this Angels podcast known as the Halo Effect. I am Robert Lockhart, your host. Hey, let's talk some baseball. Well, let's see. Coming out of Angels camp, they've made one more signing. It's another relief arm, but it is Matt Moore. Bringing Matt Moore after what he did last year for the Angels, that's a good signing. Yeah, he was one of our better relievers. Hey, bring him back. Yeah, I know they put him on waivers and let him walk partway through the season last year because they wanted to get underneath the salary cap, which is understandable. You don't want to get penalized. They got the number 8 overall pick. Well, that's a protected pick, so you don't have to worry about that. They may very well get fined, lose somewhere, maybe a third pick or something like that. I can't remember what the penalty is for being over the tax threshold. But all I know is the Angels want to be under it, so that's why they let a lot of players walk last year. Not to mention that the acquisitions they made didn't exactly do them much good, if any at all. So, anyway, one of the bigger names is now off the board. Rhys Hoskins is officially a Milwaukee Brewer. That's actually a pretty good signing for them after losing Rowdy Tellez to the Pittsburgh Pirates. So it's definitely beneficial for Milwaukee. But let's see, elsewhere, Adam Ottavino, I know, went back to the Mets, and there really hasn't been a whole lot of, significant, signings or any really trades going on lately. So anyway, on to opinion time. It seems the Angels have seriously shored up their bullpen. That's a good thing, obviously. I mean, you need the relief arms. But they still haven't done the one thing that they absolutely need to do. And that's replace Ohtani's production, both on the mound and at the plate. They haven't done either of those yet. Now, again, it's like I said last time, the majority of the not top prospects, the majority of the top free agents available are represented by Scott Boras, which is always a pain in the butt trying to negotiate with them because he's always asking for top dollar for them. Never mind injury history, never mind issues that they've had in the past. No, money. That's what you want, money. You got to have money. This man hypes every one of his clients. Now, it's good if you're a client, bad if you're an owner or general manager. So, when it comes to his clients, you really want to do your due diligence, and I'm pretty sure that's what every team has done up to this point, which is probably why it's taken so long for guys like Bellinger, Snell, Montgomery, Martinez, for these guys to come off the free agent board. That's probably the reason why it's taken so much time. So anyway, I still think the best way for the Angels to obtain what they absolutely need is through trade. They don't have huge quality players to trade for someone really great, which is probably a reason why they haven't gone after Corbin Burns. Or really anybody for that matter. Dylan Cease, I know they don't have the quality players to grab him. Well, you think about it, I know I've beaten a dead horse. I know I've said it 100 times already, but did Billy Epler screw the Angels? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. My God, that is one of the worst farm systems in the game. I don't know exactly where they rank, but I know they don't rank any higher than 26th. They definitely rank in the bottom 5 of all MLB teams. That's not a good thing because when it comes to winning, when it comes to competing, when it comes to really going after that World Series trophy, you need a good farm system. You need that farm system thriving, and right now they don't. They don't have it. They said the best prospect they have, the only prospect they have on the top 100 prospects list is Nolan Schanuel, and he's already at the big league level. I mean, as you remember, he spent maybe 6 weeks in minor league ball after being drafted, and he was immediately brought up to the bigs because he was just hitting everything. And But he was up at the bigs. He was hitting pretty much everything. I think he ended the season with 289 batting average, 280 something. I know that, but he didn't exactly have the best slugging percentage. That's not a big deal. That's going to come later. That's one thing I don't worry about. The one thing I do worry about is them replacing that production. That's the big thing. That's the big problem right now. They haven't done it. It's not easy to do. Shohei Ohtani is the best player in the game right now, simply because he does it on both sides of the plate. He's an all-star on the mound. He's an all-star at the plate. He is a pure all-star. The best way to describe Shohei Ohtani is not a superstar, he's a megastar, because there's nobody who compares. The only person who compared to him was Babe Ruth back in the early teens and 20s of this great sport. Except he didn't pitch and hit at the same time. He did pitch originally. I mean, he batted when he was pitching, but the games he wasn't pitching, he wasn't up at the plate. That's where the Yankees turned things around. They put him out in right field. He batted every day, and he became the legend known as the Great Bambino. So, with that said, replacing Shohei Ohtani is no easy task. It's practically impossible because you cannot replace fully the kind of production of one man unless you bring in two or three. So, again, I know the Angels have been in on Blake Snell. Snell, again, unless you're going to bring in another number one guy to pitch in front of Snell, it's not going to be that great of a signing. And again, his production went way down when he was traded to San Diego. He found something this past season because he's a Cy Young Award winner again. But what happened in the last 2 years? What happened there? Why was it so difficult for him to gain his footing? I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe the pitching coach just wasn't great. Maybe when Bob Melvin took over, his pitching coach, I can't remember who the pitching coach for the Padres was, figured a couple of things out and helped him really kind of put things together. So, I'm not saying Snell's bad. He will be good. He's just not a full number one. Yeah, I've said it 100 times already. I know one other rumor going on right now for the Angels is that they are interested in Joey Votto. That's interesting. Votto, former MVP, former All-Star in his own right, has been riddled with injuries the last few years. 40 years old, he's not the Joey Votto that he used to be, quite obviously. But if you're looking for 1 year of production out of the DH role, he's not a bad way to go. That very well could be beneficial because he's not going to have to play in the field. Shawano will play over at first base. Most likely, you're going to have Votto as your main DH. And then when you got to give him a day off from being a DH because he is 40. I don't know. Shawano will probably DH or Traddle DH or something like that. Again, they grabbed Evan White. He's a Gold Glove first baseman. Just hope he can hit. But having Joey Votto on the Angels would probably be beneficial. It'd be a little bit weird because he spent his entire career in Cincinnati. Again, he's one of those players that should probably retire with the same club that signed him. He should just be with that same club his entire career. No other team other than the Reds shall he be. One of those things. But again, it could be beneficial for the Angels to snag him up. I know that Cody Bellinger is, the Angels have checked in on him. Again, Gold Glover. Whether you want to put him in the outfield or at first base, he's a Gold Glover. He's an impact bat. He always has been. Injury problems for a couple of years before he, really kind of gained his footing and figured himself out again in Chicago. But yeah, I got to go with the experts on this one. I say he stays in Chicago. I say he stays. I think he's going to be a Cub for a while. He's going to be on the north side for probably about 8-9 years, perhaps. So, what can the Angels do to replace Ohtani's production at the plate? That's a very, very difficult question to answer because there's really nobody out there that can do it. The only one that comes close is J.D. Martinez. Granted, he's from the right side of the plate, but again, Martinez represented by Scott Boras. Now, Martinez hasn't really gone through a whole lot of injury issues in the past. He's 36, so his decline has begun. But when you put up above 300 batting average, above 30 home runs, above 100 RBIs, yeah, that's a great season he had last year. Can he continue with that trend? Maybe. I'd say a 1-year deal is enough to find out. So, 1 year. 1 year. Again, you have a new management team. You have new coaches. You have new guys helping our players become the best they can be. Again, Johnny Washington didn't have a whole lot of luck with San Diego, but he didn't have a whole lot of talent either. The only one who really started doing well was Fernando Tatis. And he's riddled with talent. That was his. I believe Washington's last year with San Diego was Tatis's rookie year, and he hit well above 300. I think he was right around 313 to 315 on the season. Definitely competed for the rookie of the year that year. So, maybe Washington can really help these guys out. Really make Mickey Moniak take that next step. Bring Trout back to fruition. Back to the Mike Trout that he is. Up here, a level above everyone else. Trout, again, much like Ohtani, you could consider a megastar. Because he's just, Mike Trout. A phenomenal defender out in center field. He does it with the bat. He does it on the base pass. He does it all. Doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, but, it's not really that big of a deal. So, again, let's see what our new pitching coach does for our staff. See what he can do with our starting rotation. Let's see, where our bullpen goes. Again, Barry Enright, not the best pitcher when he was playing, but if he's got it, let's see what he's got. Let's see what he can do. Again, it's hard to say. This next season is a transition. Transition years are always difficult. So, because you're trying to figure out what you have with your players, with a new coaching staff. This is what you're trying to figure out. And it's not the easiest thing in the world to do to judge on what happened with a previous coaching staff that, honestly, in my mind, really wasn't that great. Matt Wise really disappointed me. He had Sandoval and Suarez pitching great in 2022. Last year, don't know what happened. Suarez was back to missing the plate constantly. Sandoval had trouble with his location too, not as bad, but he still had trouble with his location, getting frustrated and missing even more. So, what happened? Matt Wise dropped the ball. Was he like a flash in the pan type of pitching coach? I don't know. Marcus Timms. that was one of the worst hirings that I could possibly imagine for the Angels. if you take a look at Marcus Tim's track record as being a hitting coach, he didn't do great with the Yankees. I don't know why they decided to bring him in. That was, I thought they were kidding. I thought it was a joke at first. They were serious. Yeah, again, when he played, he was an all or nothing hitter. I don't know what he knows about really hitting at the plate, noticing movement on a ball, being able to tuck your shoulder and hit the ball the other way. I don't know what he knows about that. He struck out a lot, and like I said, he was an all or nothing hitter. He aimed for that fence every single time. So I didn't understand that one to save my life. But that was the Phil Nevin era of managing. Now we have Ron Washington. We have an entirely new coaching staff with some returners, but for the most part, an entirely new coaching staff. And of course, the biggest question, can Anthony Rendon stay healthy? Remains to be seen. I haven't seen it yet. So, with that said, I think I'm going to end it there. Again, I still think the Angels need to trade to get the pitcher that they need. I think Martinez, he wasn't offered a qualifying offer, so you don't have to worry about losing your second-round pick. Get him on a one-year deal. The Dodgers and everyone else has pretty much got him on a one-year deal till now. So, I think he's probably willing to take the one-year deals because, again, he's 36. His decline's probably started to happen. So, again, 1 year. 1 year JD Martinez. If he does great, awesome, bring him back. If he doesn't, then good luck to elsewhere. Because right now, again, we don't have a bat to replace Ohtani's bat. Not even close. I don't know who they would think would replace Ohtani's bat at this point in time. It's just really difficult to ascertain that one. On the mound, we absolutely have nobody that can replace Ohtani, and very few probably could. So, again, we'll see. Leave that for now, and I will see everybody next time. Go Halos.